Welcome back to Indecisive Podcast. Today we have an interesting topic. We're talking about man's mental health. Actually, we're speaking about mental health in general, but specifically man's mental health, because not a lot of people usually talk about it, and men are not really interested of talking that topic. And we thought it would be a great idea to talk about it. And please comment. Want to see your ideas about what's mental health and like how do you go by it. And today we have a guest. So welcome. You'd like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Naved. This is making me hella nervous, cuz. Because now you made it official. Yeah, my name's Naved. I just recently graduated from UNSW with a Bachelor of Science majoring in Neuroscience.
Oh, congrats.
Thanks, bro. I actually I graduate in 2 weeks, but I just finished a few months ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm very passionate about mental health,
Yeah.
not from a scientific perspective, but just as a human perspective, bro.
Yeah.
Do we just get into it? Like,
Get straight into it.
Yeah.
straight into it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't know, because I just started clapping. I'm like, what we're gonna, yeah. So, but I'm gonna be straight off the bat. Like my approach with mental health.
Yeah.
Anytime it came from my scientific perspective, it never did any good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just left to more over analysis and never peace.
Yeah.
And fundamentally, bro, if I'm getting straight to it, good mental health is just trying to find peace.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
Sure.
it, bro. Like, yeah, do the things you're passionate about and have peace while you do it.
Yeah.
And I realized that to truly find that peace,
Yeah.
it required me to realize that it wasn't going to come from my degree.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to come from understanding all the lectures and projecting that on all the people that I see.
Yeah.
It just led me to more overthinking.
Yeah.
It was great knowing all of that stuff. I still am aware of all those things when I interact with people,
Yeah.
but I don't attach to it.
Yeah.
And, like attachment is another topic we could talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attachment styles, like insecure attachment,
Yeah.
anxious attachment, all of that. Anxiety, depression,
Yeah.
ADHD, addictions.
Yeah.
All of them, I believe they stem from like this deeper rooted thing that my degree never really even ventured into.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. So this deeper rooted thing could only be addressed by approaching it from the human, I guess, angle. Like just
Yeah.
being real about it.
Yeah.
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 You know what I mean? And so, yeah, bro.
No, that's
Nah.
so like. No, go on.
So
This is like very neat. Yeah, so I'm just getting used to
So
it.
what?
Yeah.
How would you define mental health? Like when it comes to defining it, because everyone has their own definition of mental health.
When I searched it up on Google the other day,
Yeah.
like yes, I studied my degree and stuff, but
Yeah.
like the question you specifically texted me and asked me was the difference between mental health and mental illness,
Yeah.
and that did get me thinking. I guess like looking at the definitions I've seen and stuff, and kind of like integrating it into my own perspective,
Yeah.
from my own personal experiences. I feel like mental health
Yep.
is a state. You
Yeah.
can have good and bad
Yeah.
mental health,
Yeah.
right? And mental illness is one of those types of mental states. Like
Yep.
when you have bad mental health, you usually have a mental illness along with it.
Yeah.
And there's different types of mental illnesses,
Yeah.
like depression, anxiety.
Yep.
When you have those kind of predominating your life,
Yeah.
you're in a bad mental health state,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah, that's my
So
definition.
it just like it's mental health, but it develops and then it gets worse, and then you can call that a mental illness. in a
Well,
way.
it's still mental health.
Yeah.
So mental health is like, I guess, physical health, cuz.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
when you have bad physical health, it doesn't
Yeah.
become physical. Like it is physical illness,
Yeah.
but you still have bad physical health.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just like, it's a state,
Yeah.
Yeah.
good or bad.
Yeah.
And when it's bad, obviously, is the illness. When it's good, you probably don't have illness.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why it's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
But like those mental health, like
Also, this is from
it's
Google,
Yeah.
so I don't want to take any of this before someone comes at me. I just want my peace. So I come in peace. Anyways,
Yeah, so like all these mental health, like do you think it's something that individually, like someone can overcome it? Because like
100%. I used to hate my life, bro.
yeah, because like
That's what I mean, cuz. You don't bring me on a podcast and expect me not to go deep. He wants some casual answer, and I'm like fucking going right into it.
you know what the thing is, this stuff is actually pretty interesting because like all right, you would prefer to go deep, yeah.
Yeah.
Me personally, at least in my personal life,
No one
like,
wants to go deep, cuz.
Yeah, I don't like going
But that's
deep.
the only way.
Yeah.
You think this doesn't make me uncomfortable right now? I feel it all.
Yeah.
But this is what I was saying before you did that weird clap.
Yeah.
It's all about courage.
Yeah.
It's about courage.
But for me, yeah, I won't say it's not that I don't have courage. It's just that's how I deal by it.
How do you deal with it? How do you deal with
Yeah.
it? How do you do
Like,
it?
I don't give it much of a thought, to be honest. Like, cause I feel like me thinking of something that's troubling me for too long, it's just I'm letting it consume me. So
So what?
So whatever I'm facing or whatever I'm having hard trouble to go by, like I'll just get up and just face it, I guess, head on.
How do you
But
actually
accepted
face it? What actually goes through your head? I'm actually curious.
What?
So right now, say, okay, it's always easier to approach it from the present moment.
Yeah.
Because right now you can't think, okay, what happened 2 days ago? Like,
Yeah.
as an example. So
Yeah.
right now, you're
Yeah.
definitely feeling things,
Yeah.
right? Like a little bit of like, what are the people watching?
Yeah.
Cute girls might be watching this. You know, like they're going to be
Yeah.
judging how we look or
Yeah.
how funny we are.
Yeah.
Why does it all matter?
What do you mean? What
Why does it?
matters?
So is that going through your head? Let's be real. This is the real talk, because, as we said, like if we're approaching this as like
Yeah.
mates having a conversation,
Yeah.
I'm actually just letting this all be here.
Yeah.
But I really like enjoy. At least the times we've hung out, I've had some
Yeah.
really good laughs with you guys. You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And
Yeah.
obviously, I'm a different person now. If anything, like on a deeper level.
Yeah.
Did anything about Mortdale Crunch get on this?
No.
No, yeah.
No, but like it was good times at Mortdale. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And yeah, bro.
Nah, so I don't know. How about you, Mustafa?
That's an interesting question. When you say what do you feel? You know,
Yeah.
It's
like
all about
when you're
feeling.
here, like especially at this point. You know, I don't know. I would say that nervous. You know, like nervous.
What are
to
you
be in
nervous
front of-
about?
Being in front of the camera, like even not even just being in front of the camera is what if I say the wrong things? You know,
Why does it matter?
what does it matter? I don't know. I always want have a good image, good look. you
Well,
know?
at least I'll break the ice. I'll say it first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what type of mental state do you think that is?
No,
So
I'll
feeling
say
nervous.
everything
Yeah,
first. I'll
yeah.
just say it all.
yeah.
This sitting here right now scares the fucking daylights out of me.
Yeah.
Right? But in the past, I would shame that.
Yeah.
And when you shame something, you kind of show it.
Yeah.
Like you can't keep fidgeting.
Yeah.
Like I used to be very like that. And
Yeah.
it's like you hating parts of yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking, oh my god, these girls that are watching, I could say something stupid.
Yeah.
They'll not want me anymore.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Or just people laughing at me for talking about my emotions.
Yeah.
Or just the fact that on a deeper level I care about what people think about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I guess like true mental health, what mental state it is, it's
Yeah.
not like I don't define like what he's saying specifically as a certain state, like on a scale of 0 to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How I see it as is all the depressive thoughts you have, all the
Yeah.
anxious thoughts you have, all the ADHD kind of thinking you have, all the
Yeah.
addictive thoughts you have, they're all a part of you. And it's not something like that's individually like this is depression, that's what society does.
Yeah.
You know, if I don't want to get into the whole industry of pharmaceutical industry and
Yeah.
the medical industry, but I feel like our identity attaches to like this, I'm depressed right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are having those thoughts, but everyone does.
Yeah.
And you're suffering, you're having bad mental health
Yeah.
because you attach to it so much.
Yeah.
And you hate yourself because of it.
Yeah.
See, the other person that has better mental health, they just allow that, they accept the fact that it's a thought
Yeah.
and it just goes through me.
Yeah.
And they understand from where within them it comes.
Yeah.
Oh, look, this is at least my perspective from my journey from bad to good.
Yeah.
I've been in very bad mental health, and I've been in like right now pretty decent mental health.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's always more room for improvement.
Yeah.
I never want to let my ego convince me like, oh, we're good now.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
let's
Yeah.
just chill. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, like,
Like I would say, like because like for the mental health, I mean, like no one has like constant great mental health. Just upside down thoughts comes in and out. There's something might come and ruin your day.
yeah.
So
Like,
I think that kind of
Well, hey,
happens, but like I think the best way to go like throughout the days and especially in like occasions like that is just accept it and acknowledge it and move on. I guess.
okay,
Because you can't
yeah.
really do much. With,
of course.
with it. You know what I mean?
How I see reality.
Yeah.
This is, I guess like you hear all these quotes like focus on the things you control,
Yeah.
not you control.
Yeah.
When I started healing, it all started to make sense why these quotes were created one day by one person.
Yeah.
Like the person who first said this quote,
Yeah.
they came somewhere inside them.
Yeah.
They had an insight.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean, bro. Like when you start going in,
Yeah.
all those quotes make sense.
Yeah.
Instead of just list, oh yeah, he said that. All right, all right, all right,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
creating your identity based on the world outside.
Yeah.
Instead, when you let go of all that is not you,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe it's all true, good or bad.
Yeah.
Maybe science is all true. Maybe religion is all true. Like,
Yeah.
but I feel like all those answers that you need,
Yeah.
even if you're from a religious perspective,
Yeah.
God created emotions for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He put it in you. So why are we ignoring it?
Wait, so you basically
Like, why are we ignoring? He put it in you, cuz.
Yeah. So what do you think? Like most people ignore their emotions?
Yeah,
Or like
especially men,
mans?
bro. Especially men. Especially in the hookup culture now, women too.
Like
I've noticed.
like I would say, I don't think so. Like man's they ignore the emotions. It's just that they don't express it to other people. I guess they keep it to themselves.
Well,
Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah,
What about you?
I'd say that too. I don't know,
Yeah.
like due to society, the way that men think nowadays, they rather keep it in themselves and bubble it up,
yeah.
than tell others. So, for example, if I'm like feeling upset, I'm not gonna go to Faisal and be like, "Hey, I'm upset about this, that," because as a man, I feel like I could deal with my emotions. I could handle that.
You were taught that that's how it should be.
But
Okay, what you
that's
just said,
true.
yeah?
We have been taught that, but I also think that that's just how I deal with it, regardless of being taught or not.
But do you not think that subconsciously you've accepted? Because, okay, this is like a very deep thing, but
Yeah.
we are, as I said before, we are nothing
Yeah.
other than the awareness that we,
Yeah.
you're not even the story of what happened when you were 3, none of
Yeah.
that. It happened. It
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
I'm not gaslighting you.
Yeah.
Like it happened, guys.
Yeah.
But we attach to it on a subconscious level. Something happened in school and the teacher said something, and from then you're like, this is how I'm gonna be as a man. Fuck
Yeah.
it, like,
Yeah.
or like a girl cheated or something. Like this is how I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get a glow up now. You know,
Yeah.
like, but yet, like, we create this whole story in our head to live for the world outside of us.
Yeah.
And see, my ADHD kicked in. What was your question again?
No, hey, what was your question?
All right, my question is gonna link to what you were just gonna say. So basically, like, you were saying something about the society told us, right? The society kind of influenced on us, and you were saying something about you personally. That's how you feel, right?
Yeah.
So in that note, I was just 2 days ago, me and my friends were just playing games, and like I brought the topic up. I'm like, oh, we get on my podcast, I'm inviting a friend, and we're gonna discuss about men's mental health. So we talked a bit about it, and he brought up the question, was like, do you think it's the society's fault, or is it just man's brought this to themselves?
We can sit here and think for years about whose fault it is.
It-
We spend time blaming our parents for how they treated us.
Yeah.
Maybe they did the best they could. Mine
Yeah.
did the best they could. And we sit here yelling at our ex in our head.
Yeah,
But how much longer, bro?
yeah.
Just let's let it go.
No,
it
no,
happened,
yeah, yeah.
And that's what I was trying to say. Like, you were not a story. You're not any of the things we tell ourselves. You're not the achievements. You're not the Lamborghini that you buy. Like,
Yeah.
you are that awareness that is watching. And what exactly did you say earlier that made me start this? I'm thinking, yeah. So,
He
I guess
said-
to truly find yourself,
Yeah.
you're not even like, you are a man, but you're not the identity of a man. You've taken the form of a man, and
What-
you've taken the role of a man.
Yeah.
And who you really are is just love.
Yeah.
I don't like.
When you say identity of a man,
Yeah.
what do you mean by that?
So yeah, as I said, like the identity, the story we create in our head, the identity is our past, our achievements, heartbreaks that we've gone through, all the things, our insecurities, our the fact that I feel like, oh, I've had depression. So you just assume you're someone who has depression all the time,
Yeah.
or subconsciously, or I have anxiety. I care about people's validation. I'm not an alpha male,
Yeah.
like especially
Yeah.
men struggle with that. It's all just stories in your head, cuz.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but then the stories makes you who you are, I guess. And to be honest, before you,
But is that reality or is that an
But
illusion?
before you create these stories,
Like-
you know that you're a man. I guess you're who you are. I guess,
Well, this goes to the question.
certain levels.
Who were you when you were born? Before everything happened.
Who are you when you're born? I guess you were you before
Who's you?
I don't know. That's I can't really. Yeah, that's an interesting question. I can't really answer that exactly because
You were everything before everything happened.
yeah, I guess yeah. So yeah,
so
putting it
that's
that way.
everything is not you that happened.
Yeah.
You were before. That's you.
Yeah. Okay, but
What else? How else? X squared plus. I can't do it mathematically.
Okay, I'm a bit mixed with that, but I think
X plus Y equals 1, right? We're
Yeah.
removing Y.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
X before Y happened.
No.
Y didn't happen yet, cuz.
No, I get that. Well, okay, how about you, Musa? What's your thoughts? So, like, you think this is like biology, or the society kind of influenced this on man?
Both, I believe. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so I also think both.
I think both as well.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just blame society
Yeah,
because it's also like, you know, that's like what he said before. You can't just keep blaming this society.
Yeah.
I say both need to take the courage, like he said before.
Yeah.
You know, so yes, society did influence men to not talk about their emotions, but men also need to take the courage, like he said, to also speak about their emotions. Don't let society influence you what you should be doing with your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when it comes to like things like mental health. You know, if society nowadays, you know, they don't support males like that have mental health problems. You know, they don't support them as much as they do support females when it comes to that. I'd say,
How does that make you feel?
like, to be
Deep
honest,
down.
as a male, you know,
It sucks, eh?
it sucks, 100%. Like, you know, you have, you know, as much as there's all these, there's supports for males, but compared to females, I'd say females, there's so much
Females
support
can just
going on.
talk to their friends about it. 'cause
Exactly.
That's the best.
Like, yeah, females, they can talk for days and hours.
Don't get me wrong, the suicide rates of male and female are not like too far apart.
Yeah.
The only reason males, according to statistics, die more than women, it's not because they bottle up their emotions, it's because they just, when they try to kill themselves, they kill themselves in really like
yeah,
dangerous
crazy.
ways.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. Women, like, they're not as aggressive with how they try to kill themselves.
Yeah,
I guess that goes down to testosterone.
yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, like, emotions play a huge role, man.
yeah,
And it really does suck because sometimes I'm just like, fuck, man, like, it's just not fair.
yeah,
Like, I don't want to have this fucking mask on of like, I don't want to be like a fucking alpha male.
Yeah.
Like, well, firstly, this is another opinion. A true alpha male doesn't need to tell himself he's an alpha male. He just is.
Yeah.
yeah.
A true, or anything, doesn't
Yeah.
need to tell himself. He just is. He
Yeah.
just does it because he's passionate about it. And end of the day, bro, I don't want to live by any mask, man.
Yeah,
I just want to be me.
yeah,
And I don't believe I was all the things, especially after, I guess I can get to it
Yeah.
right now. This whole healing journey,
Yeah.
which fundamentally is a simple formula.
yeah,
You want the formula, cuz?
yeah,
You can sit here, because you said it's both biology and
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
right?
And-
The reason I'm not talking about biology is because I can sit here and go through all the research done on why girls cheat on boys, but it doesn't fucking change the fact you got cheated on.
Yeah.
So just fucking let it go,
Yeah.
cuz.
Yeah.
And so you can sit here reading the research paper, watching all these TikToks, right? I'm putting out TikToks, but
Yeah.
I don't want people to just sit there watching it.
Yeah.
Because after they just go to the next video and start scrolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think true healing is you stop coping.
Yeah.
So when those things come up, you say, "Oh, I just got to move on with it."
Yeah.
Maybe just listen. Maybe instead of just like shutting down those emotions and like getting into your story and telling them like, you know, "Oh, this is how I got to be now. I'm a man. Like I got to go do this work."
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you do. You need to provide for your family. You
Yeah.
do. You know, I guess that's the role we've taken. But we attach to that role so much, we abandon ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
What's the best way to go about that? I guess so. What, expressing your feelings, I guess,
it's not even about expressing your
Yeah.
feelings, cuz.
or just understand yourself.
Feel. That's it. Just feel.
Yeah.
See, like you said, men don't talk about it. Men don't even allow it inside themselves. They go to their bedroom, they sit alone, and they still don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
they just jack off. You know what I mean? I did that too for a while. I loved it, but
it doesn't stop anything. That's
it only feels good up until that.
Then after that,
It's like, why? No, I don't get too TMI right now. I don't do. See, but the thing is,
yeah,
I do sometimes still do it.
Yeah.
But it's not about shaming it.
Yeah.
It's about accepting that all the aspects of the human experience.
Yeah.
And shame was created by this construct.
Yeah.
Do you realize we weren't born with shame?
yeah,
You know, you would have been crying in a shopping center or right now and your mum would be like, shut up, stop.
Yeah.
Because why? In herself. No disrespect
Yeah.
to my mum or your mum or whoever's mum.
yeah,
But in herself, she shamed the fact that emotions, society, because through her childhood, she was taught, stop crying. And so we just pass that on. And I guess fundamentally, that's what generational trauma is.
Yeah.
And instead of sitting here saying fuck yous to everyone in our past,
yeah,
because they already moved on.
yeah,
They bullied you, they did what they did, but maybe some of them, they are healing and they realize what they did and they feel sorry and they're feeling it.
yeah,
But your job is to just do you. You can sit here pointing fingers at everyone for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
The girl that cheated, it's not going to fix it. You can
Yeah.
go read all the articles about dopamine and serotonin, and you can do those things. But until you understand why you're doing those things and where they come from, it will run your life. Depression will run your life. Anxiety will run your life.
yeah,
Addictions will run your life. Because you just be like rationalizing to yourself, oh, this is dopamine. Like addictions, they get reinforced because of dopamine.
Yeah.
For a very long time, because of my degree, I always used to tell myself, oh, okay, like I'm enjoying this more now because,
Yeah.
bro, let it go, just enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like live.
Yeah.
yeah,
And I think the reason we don't want to do that is because when we get out of here, out of the stories, whether I have a neuroscience, a medicine degree,
Yeah.
or I just know nothing, I just know what life taught me.
yeah,
When you let go of that,
yeah,
you're left with this.
yeah,
And that's what scares the fuck out of people.
yeah.
That's interesting.
Does that actually make sense?
Yeah,
it makes
yeah,
perfect
it makes sense.
sense. I get that. Like, what would you say, yeah, during your healing journey, yeah, what would you say is what was most difficult?
Actually, just before that, like,
Yeah.
what's it
Crying.
called? What made you get out of what made you what's it
Start?
called? What made you realize? Oh, I need to start healing myself. I guess.
The
Yeah.
day you tell yourself I'm done.
Yeah.
That's it. Like there's a chart about emotions.
Yeah.
At the start of my healing journey, I kind of came across it. At the bottom of the chart, the lower energy emotions.
Yeah.
You don't need to look into this too much.
Yeah.
Because you might think this sounds a bit like horoscope, crystals.
Yeah,
I'm not in
yeah,
that
zodiac
shit.
signs.
'Cause
Yeah.
for me, I think those are also coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
They're not actually like real healing.
Yeah.
They're bypassing the healing. They're like, oh, I have these crystals. You're a Gemini? All right, we're not going to date. It's just because you're scared of some Gemini in the past. He hurt you doesn't mean every Gemini is going to hurt you, cuz.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's these stories we keep creating in our head and we so confidently believe it.
Yeah.
And it's not about shaming that story too, because our ego is doing its best.
Yeah.
It's whatever it's doing, it's trying to keep you alive.
Yeah.
It's like even right now, the thoughts of like, what are all the people watching going to think?
Yeah.
What are the guys going to think? What are the girls going to think? What are my parents, family, everyone? You know, I have all those parts.
Yeah.
But in the past, I would shame it. I'd fight it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I'd tell myself something. Oh, this degree said that if they judge me, like it's on them. Like,
yeah.
let
Yeah.
it go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
How about if you're not ashamed? I guess like so. This is where it goes back to like when I was saying like in a way it kind of also like that's how men are. I guess it's kind of in our biology because like we don't really talk much about our emotions. Like we don't like to express it out to other people. We could deal on ourselves, but like to express it out, not really. But yes, when you do something, you cry or something like that. Your dad told you don't cry, you're a man, or don't do this, you're a man, or do this, you're a man, right? And I feel like that kind of when someone tells you that, it kind of resonates with you, or like you kind of like don't deny it. I guess you know what I mean. You kind of, I guess in a certain way, it kind of just fits in well. But
you just accept it.
yeah, you kind of accept it. I feel like if you were to tell that to a female, I feel like that would be different. She won't accept that unless like after a long time of repeated and then it becomes like a brainwash. But
It
I
is
think
a
for
lot
a
of
guy, it kind
brainwashing.
of it just fits in like it kind of just resonates.
You
with
actually
us.
think so?
to a certain level. But now I feel like yes, the society has dragged it to like a way like different point. You know what I mean?
If I was to, I guess, like simply put, like my perspective on the story and the conditioning in our head,
Yeah.
shame is how the conditioning happens.
Did it always involve? Do you think always shame is what plays the part?
You were born free,
Yeah.
and you were told not to do things.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, and it helps in this construct we live in.
Yeah.
And it does. It definitely helps. And whether you were told not to do something because, you know, from religion, your parents were like, this is not good,
Yeah.
so I'm going to pass it on to my kids. They did it with love.
Yeah.
They shamed you.
Yeah.
And it is valid. Religion is right. It
Yeah.
could all be right. But I guess when I realized that true fucking absolute spirituality
Yeah.
is not needing religion or science and accepting all those deeper fears that make me hold on to all those stories and religion and science and everything.
Yeah.
And when you accept those deeper fears inside you, by letting go of all that shame,
Yeah.
then there comes that moral compass in itself. Because you're going to the moral compass. You're saying, if I didn't get shamed, how would I know how to be good? In a way, you're saying, like, how would I know how to be a man? How do I, like, is that what you're trying to get to? Like,
No, I was just saying, like, if you're not ashamed, because, like, you know, you were saying, like, you know, some people, like, you know, they might be afraid of other people's
Yeah.
thoughts or what people might think of it. If you bypass that to a certain level, of course, there will always be, like, you know, a voice inside of you, like, oh, what's that person think about
Why?
the situation? But, like, overall, like, usually some people might not care about what other people think. So some people you can overcome, you know,
A lot of
certain
people
things. So
yeah.
if it comes to that level, what else holds them to not express themselves, I guess, or talk to other people about their feelings?
wait, summarize that real quick.
So like, if
Take
you're
your
not
time,
ashamed,
take your time, like,
if
yeah.
you're not ashamed, then what else holds you back to express yourself?
Or like, if you're not ashamed, if you're
Yeah.
not like, if you're not like living in a way where you're like, oh, I can't say this, I can't say that.
Yeah.
You can just fucking kill everyone, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like if you don't hold yourself back,
Yeah.
you're saying like, what's actually there to stop me? Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
What's good? What's wrong? Like, what are you trying to get at?
No. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say?
No, not really. I'm as lost as you.
Like, so
Like,
like,
I think okay, let me try to summarize what he's saying. So what he's saying is that I think he's talking about himself. He's not.
We're also here, cuz.
So he's saying that, you know, some people out here that are not ashamed of anything, right?
They just do it and they're like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck.
They do it and they say things and do things with their chest. That's what he's trying to say. Is that what he's trying to say?
This is actually a very good and deep question.
And then on top of that, like, what else did you say?
No, I'm just saying, like, if you live, you do what you think. I mean, for example, yeah. Like, he kind of mentioned something that, like, what makes other people hold themselves, not to express themselves, is usually the shame.
Shame
right?
is the reason. Yeah.
So if the shame doesn't apply to them, what else could it be? That's what I'm asking.
Oh, it applies to everyone, bro. Give me an example when it doesn't apply.
Yeah, that's a very good question. I want to know an example.
I'm actually curious. If you can
Wait.
actually think of an example.
Of where
Give me a
shame
type
does
of
not
person
apply.
that comes to head, like from Bankstown, just like straight out. Anyone, I'll tell you.
I guess, for example, like, well, there's a lot of people, I guess, that applies to people, different people, I guess, because you might do something that I might be ashamed of, and you're not, right?
Everyone shames different parts.
Yeah, everyone's shame is different.
That's because of your past
Yeah.
and your story that you attach to
Yeah, but I'm just
with the shame.
yeah. So I guess in general, I'm just saying, like, if you don't feel ashamed, what else holds you back from not talking about it?
Not talking about it.
Yeah, not talking about how.
Only shame is the reason. That's the only reason. That's like.
All right, cool. Okay.
We're going. Like, I can't think of any other reason. Like,
Yeah.
the only reason I never spoke about anything is because I felt on a deeper level I wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
And so remember, I don't know, before you did the weird clap,
Yeah.
I said at the start,
Yeah.
depression, everything comes from that one thing.
Yeah.
It's that deeper down rooted message that was put into us from our childhood.
Yeah.
I don't know which camera I started looking at that camera, but so I can't even see me. That deeper down message that was put into us in a core that we are not good enough. Every time our parents did the best they could, but they said, stop, they're shamed.
Yeah.
You know, or they said, where's the other 10 marks in your exam?
Yeah.
I wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
You know, in our head, we didn't think, oh, this means I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
We probably just felt like my mum is not happy with who I am. She doesn't love me for who I am.
Yep.
You know, because our mum just said it's not, well, what's the other 10 marks? But she never explained, don't worry, look, I still love you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's where shame stays and it gets stored when it doesn't get rectified in
Okay.
that moment.
Yeah.
When, like, look, sometimes we're human, bro.
Yeah.
You hit your kids.
Yeah.
But if you just leave it unanswered, they leave it unanswered.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it just
No, I
gets
agree.
stored away. And how trauma works and how those unanswered emotions, how they work is they get stored away in your body. Because in your mind, if you have to feel it, it's too intense. So you just push it away. And you don't, out of your awareness. And you have a story up here to protect you from going there. And the Matrix,
Yeah.
this whole construct we live in gave us this story either by going to school and saying, go achieve these big things, because when you get there, you will be good enough. When you fuck that 10 out of 10, you will be good enough. When you get that, you know, physique in the gym, you will be good enough. And then you get it, it'll just be another day.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, what the fuck? Or you get the girl and now you'll be fighting to keep her.
Yeah.
Because still on a core, you felt you weren't good enough because you hated certain parts of yourself, whether it was physical looks, whether it was deeper down insecurities, whether it was you thought you were not funny enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hated it.
Yeah.
But instead, when you accept it, for yourself, only for yourself, not so that you get a girl, because you're still lying to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, when you just let it all go, that's when you come to the moment. And you were born in the moment, you were born free. And that's who we were. We were born as like, I guess like a present moment awareness that was just watching and observing. And I guess we just experienced things. And I guess kind of where I thought you were going, I'll just say it now anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of people will be like, so if you don't have religion, if you don't have science or whatever, where does your moral compass come from? Without being shamed by certain parts. I think my moral compass comes from being aware of all those parts, even the worst, dark parts about myself, and still choosing not to act on it. Because I know to be aware of all those parts in a society like this that shames all those parts, it must be hard. And that means it must be hard for everyone. Because they're walking around shaming all those parts when they wish they could just accept themselves.
Yeah.
You know? And I think when you just know deep down you're a good person, just because you have an intrusive thought about stabbing someone doesn't make you a bad person. But because we have this story that says, no, this is how I got to be, now you start shaming that part of it. You're like, fuck off. You know? Yeah, like I get it. Like it's such an intensive thought, like to have that intrusive thought. But just realize it's a thought. Let it go.
Yeah.
And so now you see where meditation comes from.
Yeah.
See them as clouds going through you. And so like these little hints have been left either by Western or Eastern culture that who we really are is the awareness that is present in this moment.
Yeah.
We are not our body. We are not in all the stories we attach to. We are not the past and the emotions we attach to. Those are things happening inside us. And just let them be courageously. And as you let them be, they lose their power. You know, with time. I'm still working on it, but
Yes.
I've definitely come a long way. It's only been 8 months, but I think why I came to this part much faster than a lot of people is because I was done.
Yeah.
I was like, nah.
Yeah.
I'd rather be alone for the rest of my life than lose myself again.
Yeah.
So what? Like,
It gets hella deep.
so you're still healing. I was gonna ask you that
It's so
question. So
the thing with healing, it's not an end destination. A
Yeah.
lot of people shame the idea of constantly being in a state of healing. Healing is that's the first issue.
yeah.
We think, oh my God, healing's got to happen like that and move on. Like now I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, bro.
Yeah.
what healing is really saying is you're permanently changing your relationship with your emotions.
Yeah.
It's not a 5-minute job. Like,
Yeah.
you're always allowing everything.
Yeah.
You're changing a state, and that's how you go to a good mental state.
Isn't that what people do every day, Bob? I guess most people.
Well, try to become aware. Like right now,
Like you basically, whatever you come across, your daily life, you try to, whatever faces you're not happy about it, you just try to overcome it, I guess, and that kind of makes you,
well, okay. I'm talking about the level where it's like, why are you not happy about it?
Ah, okay.
Why are you not happy about it?
Okay,
That's
okay.
where we gotta go.
Okay, all right.
Because you were born chilling.
yeah,
Like, yeah, you were just chilling, cuz.
Yeah.
You wanted your mom's milk, and that's it.
yeah,
I mean, you wanted her love.
Yeah.
And look, I'm gonna get to this. Is another thing that a lot of people struggled with my TikTok
Yeah.
for a long time, and I had to make a video about this.
yeah,
Yeah.
Trauma does not mean you had to go to war.
yeah. No, it
Trauma
doesn't,
does not mean you had to get abused by your parents.
Yeah.
It's not always the physical things, bro.
Yeah.
It's the things you didn't get as well. Maybe your parents were just too busy at work.
Yeah,
You know, maybe they were too busy with 6 kids. They couldn't give it all to one. You know, and you have to really try to see it from that kid's perspective that you were. And I think instead of sitting here and saying, oh, I don't have trauma, I didn't go through much, or at 3 this happened. If you have pain inside you, that's it, guys. Why are we like stressing about it?
Yeah.
You know? And your body, that's what I was saying, your body already knows how to heal. Like we get stuck in here in our stories.
yeah,
Let it go and just listen to those emotions. They'll take care of it. Like they'll just run their course and they'll remind you of all that trauma, but let it all go through.
Yeah.
It needs to finish
Yeah.
yeah,
the story. Remember I said it gets stuck
yeah,
because our parents shamed us or the guilt, something happened. I still have things to let go of.
yeah,
I still do. And they only really happen around your triggers.
Yeah.
So this is a new trigger.
yeah,
But see, I'm always in a state of letting go.
yeah,
So it's an always thing.
Yeah.
I'm always choosing myself over everyone else.
Yeah.
But if you have to choose yourself first, so then you can show up for everyone else.
yeah,
You think, oh no, I got to show up for my family. What do you mean? What do you mean? Yeah, so abandon yourself for another 10 years and show up. You'll be like, I'm done. And
yeah,
Yeah.
or like you'll be like, fuck, you'll just deteriorate.
yeah,
That's why the midlife crisis and quarter life crisis exists, because something you didn't want to feel catches up to you.
yeah.
So just do it now.
That's very well said, I guess.
That's
you,
interesting. So at what stage, do you think you've completely healed? Or do you think there's never a stage where you would say that it's called completely healing?
I guess I can't see the other side. You see, obviously, like people like Buddha and stuff, they're enlightened.
Yeah.
And there have been days.
Yeah.
I've had days where it's like, fuck, I feel like I'm fucking third eye open.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I'm walking around and I'm seeing shit
Yeah.
Yeah.
that I normally wouldn't see. Like I'm seeing how reality is taking place in a different
Yeah.
way. There's no end destination. I have actually, I'll be honest, I've taken a couple of steps back in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Kind of gave into my old addictions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I went out clubbing a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not a bad thing. It's not about shaming it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because you shame it, you're only going to keep deteriorating. You're going to be
Yeah.
like, fuck it anyway.
Yeah.
And just keep going back.
Yeah.
Shame is the reason we go down,
Yeah.
yeah,
you know. The antidote,
Yeah.
that you kind of asked before, is letting go of that shame. But
Yeah.
this is the other side of the coin. Replacing it with compassion. Understanding like, fuck, man. I shamed myself for so long.
yeah,
I hated myself for so long. And then now creating that space for all those emotions that you've
Yeah.
shamed
yeah,
and compassionately just allowing it and listening to that little kid inside you that you abandoned for so many fucking years to impress that girl, to impress that friend, and be like, if they don't want me for feeling my emotions, let them go, because they're shaming all of that in themselves.
Yeah.
And this goes to another thing that I always try to highlight. Anything anyone ever does is a reflection of things happening inside them. The reason she cheated on you is because she hated herself
yeah,
at a core. She needed validation from another man. She created stories in her head that, like, she's like, once I get that, and she just wasn't in acceptance with herself of who she was. No shade on women. Men do this too.
yeah,
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with gender.
Yeah.
it's just anything, anyone, any spirit, any soul does is because it's shamed parts of itself in this human experience.
Yeah.
You know, either through religion or through other. Religion is great. God is great, like everything. But God would want you to understand all of who you are.
No, that is true. Of course, you need to
without
understand.
pushing a part away.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to tell you something, cuz.
Yeah.
Because pushing it away, has it helped?
Nah, I don't push away.
He said nah, so I'll take it.
Wait, hold on, wait. When did we come to the assumption that I'll push away?
You said nah, I'll take it.
Nah, I'm like, in general, look, I think like any person like that's going through anything, like mental health or anything other stuff, they should face it. Because if you don't,
What's your definition of facing it?
well,
I think that's where we're kind of different.
I think like whatever's happening to you, acknowledge that it's happening and try to overcome it in any way possible that you could.
So
If you
give me an
can't
example in
achieve
your
it-
life recently where you overcame something, if you can think of something. Maybe it could be just starting this podcast. How did you overcome the anxiety
The anxiety of it.
of starting this? Like, because I'm actually curious. Because I want to learn.
Well, to be honest, we did talk a lot about it with me and my friends over going back and forth. And I'm a very curious person. So like when that hits,
I can tell, yeah, you're
when
very
that hits, kind of pushes all my anxiety away, I guess. I'm like curious. Okay, so now I want to see what happens now. Like it kind of just pushes my anxiety away. Yes, when we sat down
Pushes it
first-
away. Interesting.
Yeah. So like, it's not there anymore. Like I don't think about it anymore. Like you know what I mean?
You're not thinking about it, but it's in your body.
Yeah, maybe it's there, but like now I'm in hype. I want whatever's going on to start. So when we agreed, we just sat down. I'm like, we did talk about it. I'm like, oh, we can't wait to happen. Of course, we're excited. But as the time get closer, of course, the nerve is there. Like you get nervous, you're like curious, like, oh, what happens if other people might think like this?
Yeah.
And then I tell myself, like, who cares what other people think? You know what I mean?
So you tell yourself.
Yeah, so I
Interesting.
talk to myself.
So it's here.
I'm
just pointing things out.
But like, yeah, so I tell myself, like, who cares what other people think?
But
This is
does that
something-
get rid of the anxiety, or does it like it just becomes like a little fight in there?
No. So basically, I accepted, and now I don't need to. I tell myself.
So you
I
don't care about what I think about you.
So now I don't need to care about it.
Do you care what I think about you?
No, I don't.
Interesting.
Like I generally like.
I love this. This is more
I
natural.
generally don't care about what other people think, especially if I believe something that I know is true or something that I believe in that what I'm doing, then I don't need to worry about what other people think, because I know it's right, unless someone proves to me that it's wrong.
What's your definition of right?
Like that.
What is something? Where do your values come from?
So like for instance, my values.
God.
I think yes. I think God. Yeah. I think whatever. I think Islam resonates with me, and I believe that it's true. So the teaching of Islam, it kind of makes sense for me, and I believe that's like
I respect
the best
that.
moral compass that you can go with.
Fair
So now that I accepted that, I apply by the rules of Islam. So it kind of makes sense to me. Okay, whatever I'm doing, it makes sense. For instance, like let's say what Islam doesn't allow. For example, like alcohol. Right?
You drink? You don't drink?
I don't
Wow.
drink as much as like
I don't
would
as well anymore.
Like I would say personally, there were a few times that I was curious of like, okay, how it tastes. You know, people getting drunk. It looks nice. Someone holding.
Trust me, it's not
No,
nice.
but it kind of looks fancy, right? It looks fancy. People holding. You know what I mean? Red wine and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So like, it was time me and my friends went out. It was the first time they were trying alcohol, and I was just there. Like I was curious of how it tastes, how it feels like to be drunk.
What stopped you?
Like I know first thing I know, like, okay, like two things stopped me. One, it's like God, you know, Islam says not to drink alcohol, and secondly, I don't want to be drunk and lose control of myself.
I respect that.
So in that sense,
Because that comes down to like you don't want to do something stupid.
Yeah.
You don't want to like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
another image thing. Like I get it. I get
so
it.
yeah, if people would told me like, oh, why did you drink alcohol, taste and all that stuff? Like, oh, you're missing out, right? That's an opinion, but I don't care. It means nothing to me. So I think for me personally, from a young age, I overcome that you don't need to care about what other people think. So in that sense, so that's why earlier I was kind of a bit pushed on like, if you're not ashamed, then what helps you, like what stops you from not expressing yourself?
the reason
like, what other reason could be? That's what I'm saying.
The reason I don't drink alcohol
Yeah.
is because I know by drinking alcohol, well, this is one of the reasons
Yeah.
that comes to my mind straight away,
Yeah.
is I'm escaping something.
Yeah.
It's another form of my coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
So you know how I said I'm very extreme with this whole healing thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people I don't think are like this extreme, but I found peace.
Yeah.
But I'm chilling now. Like
Yeah.
I do have my things that I need to deal with, but because I really am working towards cutting out all my coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
All the things that I chase outside of me, I'm cutting it out.
Yeah.
And let it, like, if it wants to come to my life, let it come.
Yeah.
So this is another quote that I said, like, you know how these quotes all start making sense?
Yeah.
Another quote that you would have heard: don't chase, attract.
Yeah.
This is what it means, bro.
Yeah.
Let go of all the chase inside you.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of funny things that I hear is like, not funny, but a lot of things that people do that I used to do too that I find funny,
Yeah.
which is looking in the mirror and being like, I'm pretty, you know, I'm beautiful. Like these affirmations, like, I don't chase, I attract. We say that like 100 times and you think it's going to come. Where is that affirmation coming from? You're still chasing.
Yeah.
You still want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to let it go. You got to literally let it go.
Yeah.
Because you still wanting it means you don't believe you deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's coming from a place of you that says, once I have it.
Yeah.
We lie to ourselves. We bypass. We tell ourselves stories. And so fundamentally, bro, if you want to look at it another way as well, as honest as you are to yourself,
Yeah.
whether it means accepting truths like you will lose people,
Yeah.
or a girl will never date you, when you accept all of that and you're honest despite that, that's when you find your peace. What are we really here for? You can fuck all the girls you want, bro. You're not going to be happy at the end of it.
Yeah.
You still hate yourself, or
Yeah.
you still have that part that was chasing that girl, so you'll go to the next girl now.
Yeah.
You know, and I just use this example because in the past, I have struggled with women. I used to go hook up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a body count, big no, I'm joking. I'm definitely not finding a wife now. Fuck it. That's all right,
She
I'm
won't
fine.
care about your body count.
Oh,
If she's,
nowadays,
because if she's aware as well, if she's healed all those parts,
Yeah.
then she wouldn't.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Everything anyone does is a reflection of them.
Yeah.
If a girl, see, girls have minds too, cuz we forget that.
Yeah.
You know, the girls have emotions too. Some women, we just hear Andrew Tate say one thing and we think it's fucking set in stone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We assume every girl's like that.
Yeah.
No, bro. They have, every girl has that part. Every guy has that part. You know, but just like you and I are very different,
Yeah.
we don't assume that with girls. We just see ass, tits. you know, that's what I mean. Like we don't see much, but when
Yeah.
you let go of those narratives about ass and titties, even though
Yeah.
it's so nice to hold on to,
Yeah.
that's when you see that they're more than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess you gotta sit down and know the
Cut
face
that
of-
part out. I'm joking. No, I want it to be authentic, so
Yeah.
put
Yeah.
that part.
Well, what do you think? Like, do you think there's like an end to the healing process?
I think, I don't know, healing, I'd say it's subjective.
Yeah.
It depends on the individual.
That's why I don't bring science into it.
Yeah, I'd say that it's very subjective. Like, because his healing might be different to the way I heal,
Yeah.
for example.
How do you heal? Is there something you're healing from right now?
To be honest, nah. I don't, to be honest, I
You always be chilling, bro.
that's the thing. I think the way I live my life is, I'm on cruise control,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I let life do its thing, you know?
That's it.
Whatever I get life throws at me, I know I'll be able to handle and I'll be
Yeah.
able to manage.
It's meant to be like a certain distance away.
No, it should,
No, no.
that should be alright.
That should be alright.
Yeah.
Alright.
Like whatever life, you know. Wait, let me fix this.
I'm gonna do some ASMR.
Like I said, whatever life hits, like throws at me, I know that I'll be able to manage no matter what it is. The reason why I think so is because in my head, I know that regardless of what, say for example, whether it's a relationship thing, a girl breaks up with me or whatever it is, I know that whatever I've done, I've done my part, I've done enough.
That's it. That's it.
In my head. And
As
in
long
my
as you've
heart,
done right.
I've done right by her, and whatever she's done, I can't control what other people do. And that's how I think of life.
We're coming from a different angle, but same kind of thing approach. Yeah.
So for me, that's why I say like healing is subjective. So if I was to ever go through a heartbreak, I wouldn't like.
What do you do with your emotions when she hurts you? You feel it, right? You feel it.
Obviously, like,
what do you do?
If I say I don't feel it, then
It's just a tough cunt.
Yeah.
Kind of thing to say.
Yeah.
Well,
I wouldn't say that. Like everyone has emotions, and we all feel things, whether we like to, admit it or we don't. Feel like I'd say the way I'd deliver is, he would probably say a similar way. Like the way I'd deal with things. I wouldn't say I'll talk about it to other people.
Why don't you talk about it?
I feel like, what's the point of talking to people about it when I could talk to God about it? That's
Fair
how.
enough.
That's a nice way of
From-
saying that.
If I come from coming from a religious perspective, what's a person like Faisal gonna do for me? That God, the one
Can't
that
do.
created the universe,
Can't do.
Yeah, can't do for me. That God that created the universe won't do for me. You know?
100%.
That's how I see it. Like if it's coming from a religious point of view, like instead of going to Faisal to talk about it, I'll talk to God about it, and I know that he'll clutch up. You know, he'll plug it up.
You're like, I got you, bro. It's gonna put it through to my messengers.
Like that's how I would say I deal with my emotions
Yeah.
or whatever I get thrown at. You know, no matter what life is throwing at you, there's always you you can't do. There's a point where everything you've done, if you know yourself and you know how much you've done, and you know that whatever you've done is enough, that's all that matters at the end of the day. Like, if you're gonna get depressed about it and let it hit you to the ground, whatever, I feel like you're never gonna get over it.
But don't you think depression's trying to teach you something about yourself?
No, I feel like it does.
It does.
Someone said that depression is just
Is depressed.
Someone
Jim Carrey.
What
Jim Carrey. You know Jim Carrey, the guy from Mask.
Yeah.
That finally started to make sense to me as I started healing. Before I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean depressed? I
Yeah.
don't want to be depressed. I'm a man.
Yeah.
But then I realized depression was telling me I'm done even believing those stories of,
Yeah.
oh, I'm a man, I've got to be like this, you
Yeah.
know? Depression is telling me that I just want to be.
Yeah.
Let me fucking just be
Yeah.
and chill. And so a lot of people, they go into depression. They're like, fuck it, I'm going to go get a glow up.
Yeah.
I'm going to glow up. They
Yeah.
they go back into those matrix patterns,
Yeah.
feeding into the industries,
Yeah.
feeding into the belief that I need to glow up.
Yeah.
I hate myself. I need to get better.
Yeah.
And then something else happens that snaps you back into depression. It'll
Yeah.
keep fucking happening till we learn the lesson.
Yeah.
I actually believe that depression is trying to tell us to just get real.
Yeah.
Stop wearing that mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I basically see it the same way. Depression is basically telling you that your body's telling you that you're not happy at that state, so you need to find a way to overcome, or get out of that state, I guess. So basically, when it comes to healing, if you're talking about one particular aspect, then I would say yes. Whatever you heal and you overcome it, that's done. But life in general, it's always a healing process.
Of course.
Life is always in general. You can't just say,
You don't know what's going to happen the minute we walk out.
Yes, yes.
Something could happen.
Yeah. So like basically, you're constantly healing. You're constantly facing with new challenges,
New fears.
new feelings, and you gotta overcome it. That's just how it is. So I wanted to say it as I won't call it healing. I'll just call it life.
Growing.
Growing, and you kind of accepting. I mean, life. You finally understanding what life is.
Of course. I feel like healing is also growing.
Yeah. You learn from it, and
because I feel like healing is learning from it.
Yeah.
Because when a girl breaks your heart,
Yeah.
you just say, fucking, she did this, where you push it away.
Yeah.
You don't get to fully understand the bigger picture of what happened.
Yeah.
To fully learn what happened.
Yeah.
And to fully learn why she cheated.
Yeah.
Because in the past, you'd just be like, fuck, man, she's such a slut. She left me for another guy. Oh, I must be ugly.
Yeah.
Some of these little stories you would have said.
Yeah.
Maybe she had all those thoughts.
Yeah.
But now you sit with that emotion
Yeah.
about what happened, then you realize, fuck, man, if someone loved themselves, they wouldn't have cheated.
Yeah.
That was all that you needed to know.
Yeah.
And if someone loved themselves, maybe they had those thoughts, but they wouldn't have attached to those thoughts and gone and cheated.
Yeah.
They would have realized it's just a thought going through me. I'm going to let it go because that's not who I am. They would have had those values. They don't act on their emotions. They act on their values.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nah, you know what? That's an interesting take. How you said that. Do you think that if you cheat, that means you don't love yourself? Is that what you think? Like,
Why else would you look?
I'd say there's more than one reason for why people cheat.
What are some other reasons?
I would say if
He loves
I'll say this. Yeah. If I don't believe in God, yeah, and I don't believe the what's it called,
Quran.
the what's it called, Islamic teaching, then what? If I were to cheat, I'll do it for my own enjoyment, just because I can.
Just because you can.
Yeah.
I get it. I used to hook up. Hear me out.
Right.
I used to hook up all the time. It's like, oh, everyone's doing it.
Yeah. No, I would just say for my satisfaction, I'm a guy. Why not? I get the opportunity, must go for it.
Doesn't mean
So I would say that I wouldn't say I hate myself for that reason. I would say I'm actually making myself happy, I guess.
Are you making yourself happy or just chasing a feeling that you feel like is going to make you feel better, but you walk out of that cheating and you still feel like you hate parts of yourself?
No.
He's like, bro, just let me chill, bro. Stop trying to just read everything into the
I won't feel guilty.
Just let me live, bro. Let me go cheat, bro. I'll be honest with you. I used to hook up a lot, but deep fucking down. This is what I mean. This goes back to how honest we are to ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Like how real and truthful we are to ourselves, and only you can do that on your own.
Yeah.
You don't even need to tell him or anyone else.
Yeah.
Just to yourself. Like, how honest am I? I say I don't give a fuck what people think, but I still walk around like, looking around. Like, let's be real, man. Like, and we hook up. I used to hook up because everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
But it's because I was too fucking scared to put my feelings on the table and let a girl accept me for who I was, because I thought they wouldn't stay.
Yeah.
So like that, we tell ourselves stories about like, oh yeah, it's okay, I'm a man, I can go cheat.
Yeah.
But it's because if I stay loyal to this girl and it gets that deep, like, fuck, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know that territory. Let me just do that.
Yeah.
Let me just chill. Like, oh, it's okay. My mate cheated once.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If she cries, she's just being a baby.
Yeah.
Let's be real, bro. You're hurting souls.
Yeah. No, I understand it. Of course, when you do that, you're hurting other people. I understand
Like
that.
you're hurting their soul.
Yeah.
You're in them. You're making them lose more hope.
Yeah.
You lost hope because someone cheated on you, right?
Yeah.
Why would you want that for them?
Nah,
and that's where my moral compass comes, cuz.
Yeah.
It's not from religion or anything. It's because of the pain I've gone through.
Yeah. No, yes.
But
Even
we're
like,
all gonna end up crying, but these guys.
like when I make that
You guys
example-
post the fuck out of all of this, bro. I'll post it. I'll repost it. This post.
But yeah, when I use that example, I was just using an example to say like, oh, like if, so like, so yes, like when I was saying that, oh, I don't really care about other people's opinion. Well, in truth, like, of course, I don't want to disappoint God, I guess, in a religious point of view. So like, I was just using that, like, cheating, or you said it's, what's it called? He asked you the question, if someone cheats, does that mean that they don't love themselves? So I was just thinking like, maybe not, or maybe not always, I guess. You know what I mean? There's other factors. To be honest, I don't know how it feels.
Why would you cheat?
Huh?
Serious question. If you were to cheat,
Why
would you cheat?
Why would I cheat?
So this is how you answer these questions.
I don't know, because I've
That's a very good question.
That's where you
I
gotta
like that
go.
question.
See, anytime you say I don't know, it's just unknown answers.
No, the thing
It's
is,
there.
The reason I say I don't know,
The answer's there.
No, the thing is I don't know is because I haven't been in that situation. So I don't know.
Exactly.
Wow,
And you don't need to
so-
be in that situation. There's parts of you that would want to go fucking go to a brothel right now and suss it out. You know what I mean? But you don't want to say it on camera.
Well, I guess I'll just say I'm going out to enjoy myself. I guess.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
See, this is where it goes back to the whole idea of shame.
Yeah.
So we shame those really dark parts, and we're like, nah, fuck it. We don't want to. Like, we should never.
Yeah.
Just because it's a thought doesn't mean you're acting on it. Remember,
Yeah.
as I said,
Yeah.
it's there inside you, bro. You can shame it as fucking much as you want.
Yeah.
I'm not saying go act on it. Go start stabbing people.
Yeah.
Allow it courageously to just be.
Yeah.
And ask yourself why you're shaming it as well.
Yeah.
Because if I don't shame it, people will leave my life.
Yeah.
So that's actually the real fear.
Yeah.
Just by accepting that fear doesn't mean you're going to go start cheating now.
Yeah.
It just means you're not allowing everything to just be within.
Yeah.
The whole human experience, And we get lost up here. And that's actually what clouds our perception.
Yeah.
We think by allowing everything here, it's going to be like, fuck. No. It's up here that clouds our perception.
Yeah.
The more you overthink, you're not actually here.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like mental illness, whatever, like, so does that mean like every type of mental illness could have its own way of dealing with it?
So this is obviously like my opinion.
Yeah.
Obviously, this could be different for other people. I just have to give the disclaimer because I don't want I like peace. So I don't, after this, I don't want backlash.
Yeah.
From a neuroscientific perspective too, or like I'd say like literally basically every disorder, physical, mental, spiritual, whatever the fucking disorder, bro.
Yeah.
There's a genetic component, there's a biological component, there's genes for depression, there's genes for schizophrenia, but there's also environmental, nature and nurture, right? Genes and environment. With depression, there is a gene, right? Some people, they don't need much of a bad childhood. They could just be fucking. They just have a predisposition to get major depressive episodes and like major depressive disorder and whatnot. But see, this is, now we're going back to all those research papers. It doesn't change the fucking fact. You know what I mean? And like, don't get me wrong. Like therapy, I would love therapy too right now. Obviously, like I need. I have other commitments I can't put the money in right now. And I want therapy. Right? I want to go to therapy because, not because I have issues, but there's always more. As I said, healing never ends. There's always more. So that you know what you know, you don't know, you know what you don't know, but there's also you don't know what you don't know. There's like unknown of the unknown. Like you don't even know it exists until the therapist or someone that's professional or someone that's wise brings it to your awareness. And so... yes, like please go to therapy. Yes, everyone suffering from depression, anxiety, go to therapy. How I did what I did was just my way. And I'm sharing my personal experience and I know this relates to people because what I'm saying is a truth that everyone has within them. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't go to therapy. I also couldn't afford it at the time, so I just wanted to heal. I was done. You know, and
so like you just overcome the whole process by yourself? You didn't
not even talking to friends about it.
Yeah?
I did it because I was like, I'm done. I'm willing to lose everyone to find myself.
Yeah.
But see, this only made my friendships better
Because
I wasn't trying to chase friendships anymore because I was like, I want this guy to like me. I wasn't trying to people please. I wasn't trying to seek validation. None of that anymore. I was like, if you want to leave, leave. Because as you said with the girl situation, I did the best I could. She cheated. If my friend doesn't want me, I did the best I could. And so I could only come to that from first mentally letting go of everyone, mentally. And to find who I was without all of them and all those stories and everything that was not me. And now welcoming, if they want to come and if they want to leave, let them go. Like that's how it should be. That's peace.
Do you think you needed to let go of everything in order to find yourself? Or you think...
because you're not any of those things.
You could have still had your friends.
What's making you hold on to it?
Wait.
No, I have my friends. I was hanging out with people. I wasn't sitting in a room all day.
No, obviously.
Fucking...
But like, say for example...
But like right now, for example, I'm with you guys, but I've let go. I'm not holding on to like trying to impress you. I have those parts. I'm not shaming them. See, what's changed is my relationship with my parts. They're all there. I've just chosen me over everyone else. And now when I accept those parts that I would normally shame to impress and be accepted by everyone watching, I still choose to accept it and I let that part express itself. Like this is the thing with my mental health thing as well. Like I eventually do want to start a business. Not a business where I want to make money, but like I want to start a company. You know, there's a lot of NDIS. I want to do one of those kind of directions. And I want to help youth with trauma. A lot of trauma, bro. A lot of fucking... Look, everything I talk about is trauma. It all comes from your fucking trauma. You were taught to hate yourself and I just want to... one step at a time. Look, you see, like, even after this conversation, because today at work, I sell paintball tickets. Right? I sell, like, you know, those guys in the shopping center that's like, hey, come check it out. It's that. I'm that annoying guy, and this job, I'll be on a deeper level, doesn't align with me. Because why? Like, healing is what fundamentally breaking out of the matrix. This is marketing, which is matrix. Like fucking putting price, dropping it. Like it's, you know, it doesn't align with my truth of being authentic. And it sounds extreme, but like, bro, you got to be extreme if you really want to find you, find yourself, you know? And so like I have found myself having the same kind of conversation today with a group of people. You could just tell, like, two groups of people I spoke to, one of them was like tearing up. And like, this is the real talk they needed. And all it took was my courageous choice. And imagine if we all courageously start doing it. Like, imagine the freedom this world could be. Like, we're like, fuck it, man. And then the minority will become the people that shame. The minority will be the ones walking around like that. And then we all be like, come on, man, let it go. And we'll bring him out of shame. You know what I mean? Shame is now majority.
Yeah.
And there's minority that are hippies that are like it.
Yeah.
But that's our natural state, cuz.
Yeah. I guess it just makes us human being, I guess.
Look at it this way, yeah?
Yeah.
This is an example that I guess I like to use to help understand the idea of shame and the
Yeah.
impact it has on society. When it comes to LGBTQ, this is going to give me anxiety though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna actually suss it out. When it comes to LGBTQ
Yeah.
community and stuff, like before, there was everyone was in the closet.
Yeah.
You know, no one would want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Wait, that kind of threw me off. Yeah, and all it took was what? The first person coming out.
Yeah.
Right? And now everyone's chilling, like everyone's like talking. It's like, yeah, I am gay. Like I'm opening up.
Yeah.
I'm not gay, but like other, like, you know.
Yeah.
All it was one person had the courage to be like, fuck it. I'm
Yeah.
standing up for who I am. And it's like, no, you also come out. You also come out.
Yeah.
And now it's a movement. So imagine as men or women or whatever emotions you're running from, you shame, or whatever parts of yourself you shame.
Yeah.
Now you just start coming out right now. So many things I've said today we don't like to talk about in society.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to break it like the people did when people were in the closet when it came to homosexuality.
Yeah.
Same concept. Shame. When you shame that in society, it's just like an unspoken thing. Like we don't talk about it. It's all there.
Yeah.
We do small talk. We talk about, how your goals going in the gym.
Yeah.
But both deep down in both of us, we know we don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
We want to get deep. It's just the first person has to do it.
Yeah.
And then we're like, fuck, man, finally.
Yeah.
I can talk about it now.
You know, I would say, one thing that I realized, me and my friends, like, from school group, I realized like the way, so the way they deal with their problems. So like we don't express ourselves as much as females do, I guess. But I realized what they do is like, when like, there's a time where a few of us in the call, whatever the problem is going on, someone brings it up, we'll talk about it, a few words exchange, and that's about it. So like, it doesn't go beyond from like few words of what's happening.
Like
I
there's
guess.
no depth.
Yeah, there's no depth for it.
Really?
Yeah, there's no depth. I guess like few words and I'm like, all right, yeah.
I'll see you soon.
One could give few words to deal with, and I guess that's.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why doesn't it go more than those few words? What comes up that makes you?
I guess so.
That's what self-awareness is.
No. I guess that's all we need. I guess.
That is valid. Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying like start a TED talk with your friend every time you call.
Yeah.
Like, trust me, I don't do that. I try my best not to.
Yeah.
Obviously, if the conversation comes up, I get passionate and I try to help my friend. But
Nah, it's just few words, I guess.
Alright, when it gets to
also
that-
like laughing about it, and then it kind of just ends.
real talk.
Yeah.
Look, we're friends, right?
Yeah.
This conversation, has it made uncomfortable emotions come up?
No, to be honest, for me, I won't say so. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because like to go back at it earlier, for example, when he was saying
Maybe you're fully healed.
Yeah.
I have to get there.
I
He's just the one chilling. I'm the one that's like.
no, I always say like I told you like no person can say they fooled you, because like the thing is like when you know something and you accepted it, I guess it won't become a problem anymore. You know what I mean? If you accept the issue and you face it.
What's your definition of acceptance?
Accept acknowledgement.
And that's
Be
it.
aware of it, yeah. Be aware of it and be aware of how it affects you.
So is there anything right now that's going on inside you that you're aware of because of this situation? An anxiety, emotion? Let's talk about that.
We're not talking about myself.
But that's an example.
So all right.
So you see, there's something he doesn't want to talk about. That's
No,
all I'm going to say.
But that just shows like as we talked earlier, everyone has like, you got the public life, you got the private life, and you got the secret life.
I'm putting my secret life literally on camera right now.
So I guess, yeah. And to be honest, I would just say me personally, most of the things that I deal with, I like dealing with it alone.
Of course.
And
I'm not doing this so people like me.
No, I know.
Like,
I know. I'm just saying that for me, I could heal by myself if I'm facing any problem. I just feel like I could face by myself.
as long as you know yourself.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
I know not everybody can, but if I can, like, I can heal myself. But if I have to find someone, a friend, I'll give them a hand. I'll try my best to help them as much as possible. So that's how I say, me and my friends, when they bring up an issue, like for example, especially when when especially girls' topic pulls up, I've been,
What's your advice to your friend? So he comes to you and he's like, bro, like I like this girl, but You know, like, I don't know what to say. Like, what kind of advice do you give? What
Well,
would you?
I remember one of my friends came to me in year 11 or year 12.
Yeah.
He was talking. He was like, "Oh, Faisal, I like this girl. I like her. She's, I see her at the park. When I pick up my siblings." I'm like, just go for it, man. Just go talk to her. I to be honest, I don't know much. I don't have much experience with that relationship. But I told him, you just all you gotta do is just go for it. Take the first step, talk to her, and that's all. It starts from there. And I guess that's what he did. He went for it. And I guess, well, like as I told you, me and my friends, our conversation don't really go that deep, and that's all we need. So just to because of that story, I wanted to say that I have a question. You can say it's a 2-part question for both of you. So like. This whole point of this podcast is the man's mental health, right? So, and us men expressing themselves. So, how much should a man express themselves? Of course, not what should it be as much as like female as much as possible, and also just on top of that, like what society needs, like what type of man the society needs. I guess.
Let him answer it because I feel like I've been talking a lot. I want you to say something.
What's the first part of the question?
This is the first question is like, how much should a person express themselves? Like as a man, at least, men don't like expressing themselves, but how much should they express themselves?
That's a very good question when it comes to expressing yourself.
Yeah.
Like I'd say, yeah. I wouldn't it depends on the individual, how much they want to express themselves. Because you can't really say express as much as a female, express as much as this, or express as much as that.
Yeah.
Like if I'm talking about myself, and I'm expressing myself, I don't express too much and I don't express too little. I say enough for the person to understand how I feel, and I see how the person reacts to what I'm saying to them, and that's how I move after that. So for example, if I'm telling you this person did this, that, and then you give me that you don't give a shit, I'm not going to continue expressing myself to you. That's where it comes. Like, I'm not going to continue expressing going blah, 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 talking to you about it if you don't give a shit, That's where it comes. You got to understand who you're expressing yourself to, I feel like, as an individual. Say, if I'm saying it to Faisal, I know he's going to listen, he's going to hear me out, and he's probably going to give me an honest response because that's what he always does, So I feel like when it comes to Faisal, I'll express a lot because I know...
You just trust that he accepts you for who you are.
Yes, he accepts you for who you are, plus he'll give me an honest feedback or honest response. But if it was to say someone I barely know, I'll express as little as I can.
What stops you? Because see, I'll be honest with you, we haven't hung out in a while, but see how I'm expressing?
Yeah.
So there's nothing stopping me, but what's stopping you?
I wouldn't say shame. I wouldn't say shame. It's that
fear?
Not fear, trust.
Well, where does trust come from? Like the lack of trust, where does it come from? Fear that they will judge you, not accept you?
Not really judge me. It's that, what if I tell this person...
And then he goes tell someone else.
And he goes tell someone else,
And wouldn't that be a reflection of him?
It's exactly right. It's a reflection.
So what's stopping you from?
I feel like
see, I'm not saying secrecy.
No.
I'm not saying tell what happened when you were 3. What happened with that girl? How she cheated on you? I don't know. What true healing is when you go back and feel those emotions and you understand why she cheated and all of that. You process. That's what healing is. Processing what happened and what you pushed away. You come to the conclusion. Yeah. You come to the bigger picture. You come to the point where it's like, fuck, it all makes better sense now. Clarity. Yeah. It's not just something's pushed away inside me. And so when I'm open to you guys right now, I'm not opening about a certain thing that happened when I was 3. Yeah. I haven't spoken about anything in my past, really, right? I haven't gone into the details of it. Yeah. But because I've processed a lot of the emotions about those things, I'm talking about the moral of the story. Yeah. And that's what human connection is really about. Yeah. And if someone you open up to and says the moral, like if I open up and share my message on TikTok or here and you judge me or you don't want to listen, that's because you're shaming those parts into yourself.
I would say,
and you don't want it like, no, fuck off. Like, nah, bro, man's got to be like this. You don't talk about your emotions. Yeah. Why? Because he is shaming that part in himself because he wants to fit into this construct. And if he accepts that, he has to accept that in himself. Okay. Everything's a mirror.
Can I say something?
I'm dropping different lines. What mirror? What? You're coming from. You have very different perspective, religion, and you just deal with it. Is how you say, right? Why do you think we've been relating this whole time? Why do you think it's been making sense?
I guess experience
Like
in life.
like everything I'm saying hasn't. It's a very like general thing. It hasn't for one. It's not for one specific. I'm just saying, feel your emotions.
Yeah.
Do this, do that. Why is it all making sense? Like on a deeper level, that's the voice you got to
I guess
listen to.
because
guys.
everyone has, I guess being somewhere like that, they have the similar experience. So I guess people understand, I guess, when you talk about it from a point of like education or study, not everybody studied what you're going to talk about, right?
Yeah.
But when you talk about what actually it's, you know, what you're going through, a lot of people have went through the same thing. When it comes to like mental problem or even just normal problem, people have that every day. You know what I mean? You might not see it, but everyone have issues and they just overcome it in their own ways, I guess. So when someone expresses themselves, a lot of people can relate because a lot of people have been in the similar situation. No one had a like a good life from the day he was born until the day they died. There's always, even if you're rich, you have other
I
stuff.
think you
that
can
just,
you can
know.
have a good life.
No, but you could have a good life, but the good life is
Ups and
accepting
downs, things you
as
don't
life.
control.
Yeah.
But
Like,
see, yeah, sorry.
yeah. So I guess basically with that, but like what made you start healing is that because like you thought you weren't good enough. Is that why?
What made me
this-
start was realizing that everything that I was chasing outside
Yeah.
was only bringing more pain
Yeah.
than good. It was not going to give me what I told myself it would give me.
So those are the things that
It
actually
created more
got you-
suffering.
So those are the things that actually go you into that state, and then
Yeah, when you keep it, the more you go into attachment, you're like, no, this is not right. I'm going to chase the next thing.
Yeah.
Attach.
yeah,
And you lose yourself.
yeah,
It's like a drug addiction or girls or whatever it is, or chasing the grind mindset.
yeah.
You'll achieve those things, but then you'll get to the other end and you'll be like, another day.
Yeah,
You created a whole story in your head thinking that once you get it, because think about it, your parents also have their own story in their head.
Yeah.
You think by getting that degree, your parents are going to be happy, they are going to be over the moon.
Yeah.
But then after that, they've got to move on to the paying the mortgage.
yeah.
You
I
know?
think that's something. I think a lot of people in Western countries and I guess developed countries, people will have those kind of thoughts. They like to chase.
They're just like,
They like to chase.
Tunnel-
They don't have
tunnel
that.
vision.
What's it called? Like a sense of appreciation.
yeah.
So like kind of accept it. I guess be happy with what you have. Be content. I guess.
Gratitude really helps.
Yeah. That's
the
what
word.
everyone needs.
That's the word you were
That's the
looking
word.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so you guys didn't answer the question like what type of man the society actually needs. I guess.
If you want my honest truth and
Yeah.
opinion,
You honestly.
not what Andrew Tate or anyone says.
Nah, I'm asking for each individually.
I want to quickly get into psychedelics
Yeah.
before I answer that question.
Yeah.
I was at a rave. You know raves, right?
Yeah.
Knockout. I'm just gonna be fucking raw about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually knockout. Knockout is where it started, but then
Yeah.
a sequence of raves after that where I just was like, I'm gonna go here and just see.
Yeah.
I was on caps. I was on MDMA, and I was being a bit stupid at that time. I was different. I was a different person, but I always knew the potential and power of psychedelics, right?
Yeah.
So I took like a microdose of LSD and a decent microdose, and I had caps, right?
Yeah.
I think it was at Epic where I really saw it. Epic.
Yeah.
I was just standing there, feeling all my emotions and everything that came up.
Yeah.
And there was the parts of me that was like, no, this girl's looking at you, start doing. Or like there's parts of me that's like, why are you just standing here? It was like, there's parts of me that was judging other people for what they were doing. There was parts of me that was like, my friends might think I'm weird standing here. I was just standing. I wasn't like trying to put anything on. I was just chilling. And then I realized all of that came from a deeper desired part of me that wanted to be loved. And so when you know where it comes from, it loses its power over you. You're not a servant of your patterns anymore. You're not just doing things unconsciously. When you make everything conscious, everything unconscious, you make it conscious. Instead of reacting to it, just let it come up. Instead of like from your story, just saying, go away, don't feel this, just deal with it. I'm going to just go to the work, go work. It still doesn't change the fact that you haven't accepted that. And I think to truly accept it, the word of acceptance is to not only mentally say, yeah, fuck, it is what it is. She cheated on me or whatever. It's to fully accept the fucking fact of every emotion that's going through you. about the fact that she cheated, or about the fact that someone at that rave where I was standing looked at me and was judging me for just not dancing and not fitting in. And as I started doing that at the rave, I realized that we all have that emotion. We all have that story in our head just to try to fit in. But what we all deep down really want is to just be in play and be free. I just want to break it first. Matrix only survives when we don't have the courage. The Matrix is in all our minds. It's not out here. It's in here. We are the ones keeping it alive. We don't realize it. The beauty industry, the pharmaceutical industry, self-help industry, they all rely on the fact that some story that they're selling us. Once you do these meditations, and once you do go get lip filler and Botox, and once you go to the gym and get to that. Yeah, maybe you do that, you will get more girls, but it won't give you inside what you think it will give you.
Yeah, that is true.
It'll give it to you maybe outside, but only you can give it to yourself inside by letting go of all the things you think will give you those things. And then letting them naturally come. The girl or friends or...
Yeah.
Honestly, that was well said. Honestly, I feel like that's like the best way you can end this conversation. Honestly.
That's straight out. That was good,
yeah,
eh?
Nah, that was amazing. I was gonna say that actually like...
That's what goes back to my question.
It makes sense, you know?
Why do we relate?
Yeah.
You just related in this moment.
Yeah.
Why, bro? I never said anything specific.
Yeah.
I just said some general shit.
Yeah.
The bigger picture.
Nah, yeah. Well, honestly, that question we can leave for next time. Well, would you like to say any what's your last message for anyone? If you don't, I'll go one question for you. Like,
Okay.
what is it? Like, what's it called? If you do, go
No,
ahead.
I want questions.
But the question is that, what's it called? We ask this for any person when it comes to our podcast. Like, in life, what do you want people to, like, what's it called? To
Understand that they don't need to suffer, and suffering is a choice.
Yeah? Understood.
He's like, okay, daddy. I'm joking.
Prepared, huh?
Nah, man. Anyway, thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
Hey, man.
And honestly, that was actually the conversation that was need to be spoken about.
Are you happy with how it went?
Yes,
definitely.
and I can't. To be honest, I'm happy because I get to see a different perspective, I guess, about it.
Because I saw your questions and I was like, there are things I wanted to talk about,
Yeah,
but I realized that there are things that needed to also be spoken about.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to also bring that up too
yeah.
today.
Yeah.
And I don't mind because I told you, like, for me, this is a new field, I guess, to be honest, right? Because at the end of the day, like, I could just say I know myself, right? And I know people around me, I guess. I know people because I know them, right? But I don't know much about outside what other people, how they deal with their life. So talking about this and seeing your point of view could give me a different perspective, right? And I did see a different perspective of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess, would you like to say anything?
No. We appreciate you for coming, man.
I really
This
enjoy
topic
talking to you
this
guys.
has been a topic that's been on my mind like for months. It's a topic that I've always wanted to discuss. I've spoken about it to people at work, and they've told me, "Yep, the topic is a really good topic." Not just because it's a good topic that it's a trending topic or anything like that. It's more the fact that a lot of people need to hear what men have to say about mental health.
All it takes is one person talking about it and the other person like, fuck, finally.
Exactly, that's
And
all
they
it
can be
is.
like, the shame is gone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, everyone will start riding the train. That's
Yeah.
exactly how it starts,
Yeah.
And the fact that, you came today to talk.
Think about the 4-minute mile. Until the first person broke it,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
limiting beliefs and
Yeah.
same things, bro. Patterns.
Yeah.
Patterns.
Well, I feel like this episode needs part 2, but
it definitely
straight
does.
out.
Definitely does.
Straight out.
Yeah.
but in this is this
One more thing though, one more
Yeah,
thing.
okay.
Last thing.
Yeah.
Actual message I want to leave everyone with.
Yeah, go ahead.
My breath. I'm joking. Don't try to feel your emotions.
Yeah.
Let go of your resistance and just listen. Your body knows how to heal. Just feel. Like, just let go of all that resistance and just be. The feelings will come. What you've stored away will just come. It's in your body here. It's in, like, you tense up a little bit. It's let it go.
Yeah.
And let it show itself and just feel all those biggest fears you have. Because you weren't born fearing. You were born in a state of love, and fear was put into you through shame and hate. And Yeah, I might go have sex now. So. I'm joking.